Thank you for watching our Overcoming Burnout series, where we have talked about the importance of surrender when you are overwhelmed, stressed, and in a burnout phase of your life. We've talked about the symptoms and signals and 4 healthy benefits of surrender. Today, we're going to talk about 4 powerful practices to overcome burnout. So, putting something into practice, okay? Starting to act, because so far we've just talked about identifying and then stopping to figure out what's going on, understanding things, being still, praying about it, and wanting to have more wisdom or guidance as to make better decisions, right? We have the aspect of wanting to have too much control, and the solution to that is giving up the controlling and surrendering. So, our 4 powerful practical practices today are mindfulness and meditation, delegating and asking for help, setting healthy boundaries, and embracing flexibility and resilience. So, these are just scratching the surface. These topics are very, very useful. They're also things that we can get better at and strengthen over time. Okay. So if some of these things are like you don't do them and you don't know how, or you've never had them work for you in your life, they are something that you can build like a muscle. Okay. With mindfulness and meditation, we are talking about overcoming burnout. So remember that burnout, exhaustion, being overloaded, overworked, and feeling overwhelmed, confused, forgetting things, brain fog, physically drained, emotionally drained, spiritually disconnected. This is going to be a great way to help with slowing down and calming every part of you, right? So, mindfulness and meditation is grounding yourself in the present. When burnout sets in, our minds go into overdrive, or it can shut down completely. You may feel scattered or emotionally numb or flat. And when we are going to be mindful or have some type of meditation, it's not emptying your mind. So I'm big on clearing your mind so that we have clarity. But that's like, how do you clear your mind? Clearing your mind does not mean that you are emptying it. It means that you are focusing and sorting things, right? You're going to sort things, you're going to prioritize things and like, put them in files in your mind. You're going to sort things out and then be able to focus better and to see things more clearly. And slowing down your inner world spiritually as well can help you have room for God to hear what He wants you to do next. Okay. Now, the practical side of this is that you could carve out 5 minutes of your day each morning before the robotic or the hamster wheel starts, right? 5 minutes to sit quietly. And that is nearly impossible for some people, but sitting quietly and just allowing your mind to be still. And once you start with 1 minute and then get up to 5, right? These are the practical things. During that time, try to be in an uninterrupted space and breathe deeply. Focus on something that is calming, maybe music, calm music or scripture. And this is allowing peace to return. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, delegating and asking for help. So this is a major part of the other videos that we have done to say you're tightly holding on to everything and that's why you're overwhelmed. We need to let go and allow to ourselves to trust other people to get things done, whether it's in your home, teach your kids how to do something, and delegate in your home, your business, you're at work, or serving with a team. And asking for help, why is that so hard? Why is that like one of four of the major things, right? Because sometimes we don't ask for help and we want to do it all ourselves. And because we know we can get it done, we want good results and we are not trusting. So asking for help is going to give you some peace. Burnout thrives in isolation and overload. It tells you that you are the only one who can get it all done. That doesn't sound good. And I don't think anyone would advise you to do everything all by yourself. People who care about you probably would not say that to you, and God would not want you to do everything yourself and not allow other people to move in your life. Is Even Moses was advised to delegate because the weight was too much. So here's your challenge for delegating and asking for help. Make a list of things that you're carrying that someone else can help with. If you have by now, with the other episodes, starting to write things down that you're going through, start to picture who can help you. Who can you talk to? Who can help you with something? Who's really good at maybe doing some type of admin? And you can know how to do everything, but give someone else a chance to grow, teach someone how to do something. And if someone already knows how to do something really well, learn how to trust, let them make mistakes, and have some discernment, right, with those choices. And remember, receiving help is not failure, it's wisdom. Allowing other people to work in your life is something that we can grow into and understand how to flip over into operating in trust. Okay. And then the burnout will fade. In the last episode of the health benefits, I was saying how layers start to come off and things start to fade, and we were not meant to carry things alone. Okay. Number 3, setting healthy boundaries. This is big, something that I've learned very recently in my life as I've been training. I've been a mentor in several of my jobs, several of my own businesses, hiring and training people, and I love it. All therapists, all coaches, we're human too, and we learn all the way as we go throughout everything that we do. And so boundaries is something that really, really changed a lot for me in my life. And so when you're burned out, it's usually because you're overcommitted and underprotected. And you've said yes too often and no too little. You might not be a people pleaser, or consider yourself a people pleaser, but there are times when if we're overwhelmed or burned out, it's because we are taking on too much. Simply that. We don't need to put a label on it. We're just taking on too much. And so something that I actually researched this year too that helped me was Jesus had boundaries, right? He withdrew, he rested, and he disappointed people's expectations for the sake of his mission, right? So he didn't stay around everyone. He didn't say yes to everyone. He didn't heal everyone. He was on a mission to fulfill his purpose, okay? And so the practical way to start, like I said, this is just scratching the surface, If you have never set boundaries, I think I'm going to do boundaries next after this series because it's just so impactful. And what you can do to start is identify what drains you the most. Okay. So this is like a great list. When do you feel drained? What makes you feel drained? And that could be human behavior. So it could be other people's behavior. What about things in your job makes you feel drained? What about things in your home makes you feel drained, right? And name 3 areas where you need to set clearer limits. So boundaries go hand in hand with communication, and we need to start setting limits on how much we are allowing in our lives, how much we are putting up with something. There's a line, and we have to figure that out for each thing on that list. This is a practical way you can practice saying, I'm not available right now, or I need to step back and think about that and recharge. Think of someone else being overwhelmed, right? And what would we say to them? Now we need to do that for ourselves and take a step back and recharge, okay? Burnout doesn't just come from doing too much. It comes from not protecting our margins or how much room we have for everything. Number 4, embracing flexibility and resilience. So, like I was saying, boundaries are something that is going to grow like a muscle and we're going to get really good at it. And same with resilience, right? So now you're burned out, you're overwhelmed, and resilience is bouncing back. So, do you have experience with overcoming something or having perseverance through a problem, bouncing back and being there and showing back up and like moving forward? And that in itself is also a muscle. So, if you're a leader, if you're a parent, if you're a business owner, and you need to show up for other people, we need to have that resilience muscle really strong. And burnout comes when we cling too tightly on how things should go. We're hanging on to that little key. This is how we want it to go? It's not working out. And then we're like malfunctioning because we want it to go that way and it's not. And then we wear ourselves out trying to control outcomes, people, and even timing for things. I like time management. And so not everyone's time management is the same as mine, right? And so we try to have things done at the same pace as we want. And that's not everyone else's, right? Healing begins when we accept that it's not the same. Everyone's not the same with all of these things. And the fear of letting go of it does not determine your value or worth or identity, because it's actually going to turn it into something more beautiful. It's going to turn it into something better and more productive. Now, here is how to shift practically. When plans fall apart, ask, what is this trying to teach me? So now we've stopped, we've calmed ourselves down, we've went through our thinking, our emotions, we've connected back to God to say, please help me and take back control over what's going on here and help me take the next steps, right? And now we can say, now we have room to say, what is this trying to teach me? Why is this happening? Why is this happening in these different areas? Let's say relationship, right? We have relationship, we have finance, we have career, we have physical, mental, all these different areas of life. Why are these things happening to me? Now we can flip that and say, what is this trying to teach me? And that's a really cool question. Instead of reacting, pause and choose a different resilient response. So now that we've done all these things, if you haven't watched, if this is the first video you're watching, check out the podcast in order. So we have like importance of surrender, the effects, health benefits, and it's going to open up room to be flexible. Okay. So instead of, because remember, I said that when you're overwhelmed and burned out and you can't think, you're not going to make good decisions, and you're definitely not going to have good responses, right? You're going to have like emotional responses that hurt people, hurt yourself, hurt the situation, and affect people negatively, right? And I'm sure that's not what you want. And now you can pause and respond instead of react with wisdom and more intention. And lean into flexibility. So again, we were talking about control, and the opposite to that is being flexible. So being flexible is not being passive, right? You're not just giving up. You're not just allowing people to do stuff and not being smart about the delegation. You need to be discerning as to who has the skills for the things that you're giving up. And that's being flexible, and that's trusting. But you're not being walked on, right? So again, it's not failure. It's not being passive. This is strength. You are going to build such a great team with this surrender, delegation, resilience, inner strength, inner health. You're going to speak to people differently. You're going to be at peace, and you're going to come from such a place of security, and good things are going to happen, and you're going to have such strong energy that it will be so productive and successful. So that's what I want for you. Okay. So leaning into flexibility is not passive, it is a strength. So Isaiah 40:29 says, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." So remember, when you're going through all of this, God is not absent. He is there, and he is in control, and he will never leave you or forsake you. You are not alone, and you can do it. Okay. If you're burned out right now, I want you to know that if you're burned out, it doesn't mean you're broken. It just means that you need to rest, reevaluate, and rebuild from a healthier, secure place. So I'm so happy to share all of this for you. These 4 points, I would love to go into a deeper dive for all 4 of those. And just pick one. Just pick one of these steps this week. Mindfulness and meditation, delegating and asking for help, setting firm, loving boundaries, and embracing flexibility and resilience. Pick one and start to go down that road and see the growth that comes out of around you. Burnout will start to lift, and let's do this one good decision at a time. I'm Natasha Rome, and this is the Growth Table Co. Thank you for coming to the table from where you are, just as you are. See you in the next one.